I want to talk a little bit about trimming plants. So, very simple thing to do. Um, in this tank, I have some leaves that have died. I'm gonna trim those off, and then just some of this bigger stuff back here. I'm gonna trim down a little bit. So let's start with just trimming some of the dead stuff. Now, if you have plants in your aquarium, you want to get in there. These things suck. And trim some of your dead stuff. Why do you want to do it? Because it, like anything dead in your aquarium, dead fish, dead anything, creates nitrates and nitrites, which you don't want in your water. So even leaves like this one, let me trim it. So this leaf is dying. So I want to cut it off. Now I don't cut it off at the base of the plant because most aquarium plants, wherever you cut it off at, it'll start to regrow. So I left a stem on there. It has really it has quite a few dead ones, but it has a bunch of little leaves at the bottom that are growing, so it's not a big deal to cut these off. This is my dieback. So I bought this plant, I brought it home, I planted it, and some of the stuff started to die. Some of the leaves died back. Isn't a big deal. It happens on a lot of the plants I buy. It's nothing to stress over. Oh, this whole plant's coming out. So I try not to take the plants out when I'm trimming them, just because it disturbs them again. It might cause more dieback, but now that it's out, I can show you. See, it has all these new leaves at the bottom, so trimming these off isn't that big of a deal. So let me plant that back in there. So just go around. It kind of looks like all the dead stuff. This leaf came out, so I need to plant that back in there. It's just kind of shoved in between the rocks. This is a newer plant in this aquarium, so I'm sure some of it will die back. But this one has been in here for quite a while, and as you can see, it's getting pretty big. I don't want it to get too big and start shadowing some of my other plants down here. So, but this plant, I can take it, I can snip it off right there, and then I can take this part of the plant, trim some of the bottom branches off of it, then I can take this, ow, that didn't feel good. Now I can take this and replant it. So I'm just going to put it back here somewhere, anywhere where it'll kind of hold in there. Oh, that didn't stick in there too well. So put it right there like that. And it's that simple. Now that'll regrow if the fish was not dig it up. Now that'll regrow back there. This will shoot off new stems off of it and grow another plant. I don't know where this came from, where that came from, but we'll just find somewhere to stick it in here. Anywhere. Not a real big deal. I'll take this out. This little thing. This one here is just kind of floating around. That one's a little bit longer, so I'll keep that one in here. Stick a rock on it. Try to. So there's my water sprite I've been talking about in a couple videos. I'm gonna keep that in here, 'cause it'll grow really well. Just kind of push it down in the dirt, pop a little rock on it. So it kind of looks like everything that really needed to be trimmed. But it's really that simple. Most aquarium plants, you can cut some off and replant the part you cut off. Now that's most of your ones with stems. Now your stuff like this one or the Anubias that have like a rhizome or something, you have to, so the rhizomes will be like a stick looking thing, and when it starts to grow to get bigger and bigger, you can take that and cut it in half and replant it, but you can't just cut a leaf off of something like an Anubias and plant it. But anything with your stems, your stem plants, you can, anything like this, you can just cut that off and plop the part you cut off into the gravel and it'll regrow. So that's it. You want to trim your plants just because you don't want your background plants shading out your foreground plants. So a little bit of maintenance, it doesn't take long. Trim them, plant them, repropagate them. Pretty soon you'll have plants everywhere and you won't know what to do with them. So, hope y'all enjoyed this one, and I will see you on the next one.